Good morning, everybody. My name is Jordan Salas. Today's topic is going to be why it's important to immunize your children. I'll be using the speech of actuation to move audience members, which is you, to get their children immunized. My target audience will be parents and future parents, and generally anybody who's looking for more information on immunization. Uh, did you know that children are recommended to receive up to 24 vaccinations in order to protect them from up to 14 diseases by the time they've reached the age of 2? The reason why vaccines are recommended for children between the ages of 0 and 6 is because their immune systems are not fully mature. Their stomachs produce less acid, making it easier for ingested bacteria and viruses to multiply. Within the first 2 years of life, a child is exposed to 11 or 12 vaccines, some of which are given over the time. A vaccine is usually administered by a shot. They contain a weakened or killed form of disease-killing bacteria or virus in which the body builds defenses called antibodies. These antibodies help the body identify and prevent the disease from occurring if a person is exposed to the disease in the future. As a father of 2 beautiful girls, this concept is of the utmost importance to me. At least it should be for all those with children or are soon to be parents. The purpose of my speech is to inform parents and future parents of the importance of immunization and why. You see, before widespread immunization in the United States, infectious diseases killed or disabled thousands of children each year. Because the vaccines are so effective in preventing childhood diseases, many people have forgotten the importance of immunization and how serious it is for the children to get them. Getting your children immunized is beneficial to their health and overall safety in many ways. I will discuss how immunization is beneficial to the child's health and overall safety, such as immunization can save your child's life, vaccination is very safe and very effective, and immunization protects future generations. To start off, I will explain how immunization can save your child's life. Vaccinating our children and making sure we stay current on recommended immunizations can save their lives. It is the best way to protect a child from acquiring measles, mumps, rubella, polio, diphtheria or pertussis, and even chickenpox. Vaccines work to safeguard children from illnesses and death caused by infectious diseases and protect our kids by helping prepare their bodies to fight often serious and potentially deadly diseases. Some diseases that once injured or killed thousands of children have been eliminated completely, and others are close to extinction, mainly due to safe and effective vaccines. Vaccination protects children from serious illnesses and complications of vaccine-preventable diseases, which can include amputation of an arm or leg, paralysis of the limbs, hearing loss, convulsions, brain damage, or even death. If you don't get your child the appropriate vaccinations now, outbreak of preventable diseases may occur. One example, in 1974, Japan had a successful pertussis, which is whooping cough, vaccination program, with nearly 80% of Japanese children vaccinated. That year, only 393 cases of pertussis were reported in the entire country, and there were no deaths from pertussis. But then rumors began to spread that pertussis vaccination was no longer needed, and that the vaccine was not safe. And by 1976, only 10% of infants were getting vaccinated. In 1979, Japan suffered a major pertussis epidemic with more than 13,000 cases of whooping cough and 41 deaths. Here in the U.S., the prevalence of whooping cough shot up in 2012 to nearly 50,000 cases. Last year, which would be 2013, cases declined to about 24,000, which is still more than tenfold the number reported back in the early 80s when the bacteria infected less than 20,000 people. Outbreaks of preventable diseases occur when many parents decide not to vaccinate their children. Keep that in mind. Next, I will talk about how vaccines are very safe and very effective. Vaccines are very safe and effective. All vaccines must be licensed by the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, before being used in the United States. A vaccine must undergo through extensive testing to show that it works and that it is safe before the FDA will approve it. Basically, those that operate the test take two groups of people, one that receives the vaccines and another that receives a different one or a placebo. The findings of the two groups determines whether or not the FDA will approve the vaccine. In order to ensure safety, vaccines must undergo a long and careful review done by scientists, doctors, healthcare professionals, and federal government. So, if you look at the history of any vaccine-preventable disease, you almost always see that the number of cases, of disease start to drop when a vaccine is licensed. One example, in 1960, 3 years before the first measles vaccine was licensed in the U.S., there were 380 deaths from measles recorded. Today, deaths from measles are rare in the U.S., on average of 1 per year. For another example is polio. The number of cases started to drop around 1955, the year first polio vaccine was licensed. Polio was declared eradicated in the U.S. in 1979 and eradicated in the Western Hemisphere in 1994. The reason why you see a gap in this is because when it was first licensed, the way it was administered was through, ingested. It was like a nasal form rather than a shot. They changed that because they found that the shot was more effective. But to move on, for HIV, the number drops around 1990. For pneumococcal disease, it dropped around 2000. Vaccines will involve some discomforts. It may cause pain, redness, tenderness at the site of injection, but this is minimal compared to the pain, discomfort, and trauma of the diseases these vaccines prevent. Finally, I will discuss how immunizations protect future generations. Getting your children immunized can help protect the health and overall safety of future generations. Vaccines have reduced and, in some cases, eliminated many diseases that killed or severely disabled people just a few generations ago. Smallpox vaccination eliminated that disease worldwide. By vaccinating children against rubella, which is German measles, the risk that pregnant women will pass this virus onto the fetus or newborn has been dramatically decreased. The birth defects associated with that virus are no longer seen in the United States. If you continue vaccinating now, immunizing entirely, parents in future may be able to trust that some diseases of today will no longer be around to harm their children in the future. Remember, we immunize to protect our grandchildren and their grandchildren. Just think, if we start now and permanently eradicate the disease, what worry will future generations have? In conclusion, if we follow proper procedure and get our children immunized today, the children of tomorrow will be able to sustain a healthy and safe lifestyle. There are many ways immunization is important. If you care about the overall health and safety of your child, you will hear my plea and get your children vaccinated. Immunization can save your child's life. It's safe and effective. Immunization also protects future generations. Yes, there is some discomfort and pain when receiving a shot, but this pain can't compare to the pain, discomfort, and trauma of the disease these vaccines prevent. Keep in mind, it is crucial to your child's health that you get proper vaccinations at an early age. Doing so may reduce the chance of your child contracting any of these vaccine-prevented diseases. This is not a game. Your duty as a parent is to protect, provide, and nurture your children. Getting your child immunized is one of the best ways to do so. Thank you.